All right. And I'm live. And Flashpoint is back. Evantis, I missed you, man.
Oh, welcome back, sir.
Let's go. Yeah, man. Good to be back. Had a good trip in the Shy, but missed out on the Flashpoint. Unfortunately, I know you held it down. A lot of stuff going on in the Destiny world, man. But what's going on with you?
I probably talked way too long last week, but that's okay.
You made up for me not being there.
I know. I mean, somebody had to fill in, have my random tangents all on my own. It was like weird. I was just sorry for those who actually had to sit through. No, it was good. Just kind of one of those times where I kind of went off on armor a little bit more, just because I let loose a little bit, and just a couple pieces about exotics coming and stuff. So. My biggest thing that I probably wrapped up on the end was like September's one gap that I haven't seen much on is the changes to armor. So come on, we'll get there in a second.
Yeah.
So we got a lot to talk about this morning. Flashpoint, aka Long Point number 18.
Point.
This is June 1st. June 1st. This is kind of nuts.
Yeah, man.
Oh, but yeah, we got new patch came out 1.2.1. We got it this week at Bungie that blew most of our socks off, and couple tidbits and changes throughout the week as well. So without any further ado, you want to start with some patch notes just so we can cover general changes here?
Let me pull them. I actually didn't even pull the bad boys up. Let me give me a second to pull those up right there, and let's see what's going on in the world of patching.
So guys, 1.2.1 launched on May 29th, and we had a few changes.
Yep,
some were basically very subtle because we're going to get information like drip fed to us. Apparently, they said, "Hey, faction rallies changes." I was like, "Wonderful!" Just going to tap my fingers until yesterday afternoon. So now we know what's with faction rallies. We'll get to that in a second once we get to this week at Bungie. Sandbox, we had the exotic armor changes. So let's get started with actual information.
There we go. Yeah, the what's it? I can't even pronounce it. The Mechanized trick sleeves.
Yep.
And, critically wounded. You swap to the sidearm. Got the damage buff 2 times in PVE. 1.33x. I love those rare, unique numbers.
Yeah, PvE. Is that gonna you still jump onto that one though?
I know, right?
I don't know. The warlocks, I definitely think, got the big version of the greatness here. So
absolutely. Then you had a Dragon Shadow. That exotic got the dodge reloads all weapons simultaneously. Dodging now also grants the +5 mobility for the duration of the Wraith Metal Mail, in addition to its previous benefits. And then you got a UI indicator for that buff. So have you tried those two yet as a hunter?
I've not. Like on PC, I need to don't have a hunter, so
so we're a little behind on Flashpoint, but we got to test those out. Then the Titan, you got the Lion Rampant. The hip firing no longer interrupts lift. Increased hip fire accuracy while airborne. Man, I would love that for a Dawn Blade.
So I've heard that one, and then some, and then pairing it actually with Skyburner's Oath when you go now. Basically, I think it was Mesa Sean or something. Just basically think of an AC 130. You're just flying around, just like pop it. So
I didn't even think about that. That's a great combo with Skyburner, especially with the new buff Skyburner's got with the just shooting it off the hip, and it has almost like a grenade launcher effect.
Yeah, little mini grenade tracking. So that one's actually a cool one. So I mean, that's probably one of the first actual mini builds, and I forget the video. So I don't know if it was Mesa or Fallout. I probably watched both of you guys this week, but between you two, yeah, that's one that's actually like a little mini build. So
that's a nice little build right there. I like that. No doubt. So then you got the Syntheseps. They got the flat melee damage bonus for 8 seconds when you're surrounded by 3 or more enemies, 3 times in PvE, 2 times in PvP. The buff also increased super damage while active. Have you even seen that in action? Or
I saw somebody testing this one saying, "Hey, this is broken," and they basically had 3 people stand in a bubble and 3 enemies like on a private match punch, and they could actually 2-shot them.
Oh wow.
Now, the other piece that somebody commented below is like, how often is that ever really going to? Yeah. So I was like, and this is one for me. It's like, okay, so if I'm surrounded by enemies, 3 or more enemies for 8 seconds, I'm like, okay. Now, the fact that the buff increases super damage while active, that I'm kind of curious on. Do I have to punch something, or I mean, do I have to be surrounded? Like, do I surround myself by thralls? Then do I chunk a hammer over at a boss and do extra damage? Like, it's kind of a it's very, very weirdly situational. It's like, I don't want to be surrounded by 3 enemies. That seems like a terrible place.
Yeah, just a bad place
to get a buff, which,
that's a good point.
So again, this is one for me that I don't think quite hits it right. It's like, I understand they're going for a concept of one. They may have to. I just don't think the ones where you have to be surrounded by 3 enemies or you have to die, those like tough situations.
Yeah, you hate those. I know.
Yeah, it's like it just. Yeah, it's not something I want to waste an exotic on to see if I'm going to get
see if it happens. No, I agree. The only one that I must admit that I do like as the warlock, I forgot it's a chess piece. I forget the name. The Vesper something.
Oh yeah.
I will admit that it's useful at times because when you're doing hard content and there's 2 or 3 guys. See, in that case, you don't have to get hit. Or you know what I'm saying, like, but it's just more so like the enemy surround you, and then you get the rift right back. Your recharging rift is right back. So I get that, but it's like with the syntheseps, it's like, yeah, I kind of understand where you're coming from a Titan perspective.
Yeah.
So we got
let's go to the fun class since they get all the good stuff.
Yes, the real fun, which I actually tested.
Oh, you did. Nice. So I've tested one. I haven't tested the other. Lunafaction boots I did not test. Did you?
Yes, I did.
So I'll let you take this one.
I'm gonna tell you right now, it's fantastic. Because as a warlock, I've always been jealous of the Titan rally barricade, and all I can think of is doing catalyst plates, jumping from plate to plate, and those guys, you just duck and you get. I'm like, damn, that's a great, perk. So with the Lunafactions now, what's dope about it is you just literally just stay in the rift and you're shooting. Like when you realize how great it is you have like sins of the past, and you're shooting. Let's say you're on a patrol and you're doing one of the what you call it. You're helping out the. Why am I blanking on the name?
Public event. Those things.
I know those things. I miss a week and I forget what Destiny things are called.
Yeah,
you're doing a public event. You know how it is, rocket launcher, slow reload, click. No, bro. You just bang, 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 nonstop. So now, which is dope, is that you are now encouraged to use empowering rift.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And it's such a great team buff. The Lunafaction boots have really elevated for single boss DPS.
Oh yeah, it's huge.
It is fantastic. So now it's like I can't wait to do Leviathan right now. It's like I want to do Catalyst plays.
You just melt stuff.
Right? And then what I'm right now I'm working on is a mod because I want to take the default mod that's in the Lunafaction boots and I want to put those towards Rift Energy recovery. So I want to have a build that I'm just getting the rift all the time. You see what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. No,
and then boom, fight the boss, empower rift. Come on, y'all, jump in the circle. Let's go.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's
fantastic.
I've seen some people with Suros where it spins up. It stays spinned up as you keep holding it. It's just like it's ridiculous. So yeah, I've seen some people have some fun. Yeah, and this is something that I was like, yeah, this feels exotic as opposed to Syntheseps. No, but not to me. And again, it's when you have this much of a disparity, you're talking about it this huge, this big. I'm like, yeah, I don't feel the same way about the others. Now, Lion Rampart, it's it is kind of a thing for more PvP and moving and shooting while in the air and actually no increased hip fire accuracy while airborne. That's like, I mean, Miss 5000 Watts probably read that and was like, woo. But that's the type of stuff. So it's like, no, Lunafaction boots. I've seen too many videos about it. All right, that's kind of a good way to know. If you see a lot of videos about something, that probably give you an idea that it's probably pretty good.
Absolutely.
Sun bracers, not too shabby. Now, again, a little bit situational.
Yes.
For one, solar melee kills now grant unlimited solar grenade energy for a short duration. So if you can, now this is one where it's situational, but the benefit I think outweighs something like Syntheseps. So if there's an ad and I punch it and I kill it and there's a major nearby, I'm just gonna cook like 5 grenades on his head. Just throw about as long as the animation takes. And you can get about 4 or 5 of them out there. And then the fact the solar grenades last forever. So so I mean, they just sit there and cook.
Yeah, they're really good effect.
Yeah, so pretty cool one. If you like solar grenade, or if you like solar at all, it's just a fun one to run around with. So.
Absolutely.
We got a couple other changes. Random perk was changed. Exotic, they fixed the sound things. Suros could not reload while ADS. A couple random things.
Yeah, random.
Middle multi-tool Master Catalyst can now be obtained by the most determined competitors in Crucible. So I guess they added that in. So Crucible Labs, they said they're going to talk about later. We'll get to a discussion on that here in a little bit. They had the big one that I talked about last week, Exodus Crash, was removed from Heroic Strike matchmaking. So I love how they took it out of Heroic, but they still left it in normal. They're like, nobody plays normal. We're not even going to touch that playlist. It's so yeah. Heroic Strikes now have a 25%, roughly 25% chance to reward powerful engrams up to 360. Now that is somewhat noticeable, but I've also seen people on Twitter saying I've done like 7 strikes and haven't got anything yet.
Oh wow!
So I don't know how that's calculated. If it's just like if it's a 1 out of 4 roll, and if it takes me getting a 4, I could do 4 like strikes and not have that work. So it's not like it's keeping track. So I've heard not quite the best on that one. But other than that, pretty basic. Normal corrections, things like that. They mentioned all that stuff is in there. So not too much on that one. So let us go over to This Week at Bungie, because that's where all the fun stuff is at. All right. So, now, first right here, hats off art team, because first we got faction rallies. Now, there's a little picture below. I'm going to try not to scroll down any farther, but I just want to talk about this picture just at first. We complained about the art. And like, what do you want out of your faction rallies? What do you want it to look like when you see something more? This is a start. This is a step in that direction. You've got Dead Orbit with this like snake wrapped around the Dead Orbit logo, and then you've got this sort of like, there's more to this picture up here. Faction rally, Future War Cult. It's probably still going to be tame. I love the ornateness on New Monarchy too. So now at least I got 2 I'm on board with. Future Wildcard, it's just Future. It fits. It's kind of there. So, but I just like the fact that they even flat out changed the banners, the logos, everything. They're like, hey, we're going to make it better. So art was step 1. So cool.
Very cool.
Now we'll get to faction rallies in a second, because we got something a little bigger to talk about. Bam.
Let's go.
Okay. So they said the development roadmap has some new milestones. Some will say yet to be revealed, and they say that time has come, which is Tuesday. So heads up, we're going to do a impromptu Destiny 2 year 2 reveal Flashpoint. It's going to be Tuesday afternoon, evening, whenever sleep and getting off work happens. It's going to be Tuesday though. So we got an extra Flashpoint because you're going to be out of town for E3 and I'm going to be working. So year 2 reveal coming. First, take a look at this picture. What are you thinking?
Reef, baby. You see it in the back, and again, I'm actually surprised. I just want to, before we get into speculation, I'm actually very surprised by this, because my feeling was I figured they would do. Didn't you? I don't know. What would you think? I didn't think we would get a reveal so quick. It kind of threw me off. I was like, I mean, I'm happy. Don't get me wrong. Not that I'm disappointed.
For sure.
I'm very excited. Like, I'm just like, wow, are we getting a reveal already? I figured maybe I'm forgetting. Like, when last year's E3 came around, and let's say what was that for? It wasn't what Destiny probably was. That was for Destiny itself, right? So last year's E3 was for Destiny itself. So I'm trying to think
the actual reveal event, like Destiny 2 reveal event. Was that still?
Yeah, that's a good point. I got to do the history on that, because I'm just trying to remember, see the timing of it. Did we get the reveal? Maybe we did get the reveal prior to E3.
Real event is just 2. So here's an article saying Destiny from May 2nd. Destiny 2's reveal event in just over 2 weeks away will give us a look at the PC version. So it was in May. Okay, but that was like a new game, right? So I get it. But I was still just slightly pre E3. This is, I guess they're doing the same thing. They're just getting their coverage out there before E3, because I guess it's always the thing. Everybody worries about getting lost in E3.
Getting lost in the shuffle. Yeah.
So, I mean, Destiny's big enough. It's going to have some things, but you have so many large things out there. And even for PlayStation, which is probably where they're going to be involved, they have their big 4. And we can have a little change about E3 if we got time. But they know their Twitch streams. They know those work well. So this is what they're going to do, and do it beforehand. So.
Yeah, and I think it's a great job. I think it's you get that hype going. You've got a little goodwill going after Warmind. Obviously it's not a perfect expansion, but you got some positive vibes in the right direction. And now you get this going, you get the hype train going. You know, we've seen that it looks like the reef in the back. You know, there's speculation going on about, you know, the queen and her not being dead, and the brother. There's a whole bunch of Easter eggs on Mars. They've been kind of hitting in that direction, as well as the Telesto ornament. They had something like reef in ruin. So the question for me is like, what the hell are we gonna be doing on the reef? Like,
well, that's kind of that's like the big idea. I mean, you had the reef isn't quite where, because we saw the rings of Saturn are pretty messed up from that big blast from Oryx's ship, but he's not that close to the reef where that got messed up. But it's like, what happened to the reef? What happened to the brother? Is the queen actually? I mean, there's a lot of. This is one of those, especially for the people like Mylan Games and If this is the one where the story, if they screw this up, it's like you can't keep screwing up the story, because as we've been like tiptoeing around all of this stuff in the reef, we introduced characters in D1. We had major events happen to those characters in D1. We have questions about people that we got to see more than the stranger for 2 seconds. So it's like we have some investment as a social space in the reef, and then we're going to go back. Like I want some.
What do you want?
I want a little more depth. I just want a little take a Taken King level of story to it. I want that. So I mean, it's year 2. It's going to be a full Comet expansion. If you guys don't know what I mean by Comet, it's basically their keyword, code word, whatever they use in-house for the major like year 2 chunk. Same way Taken King was. It was a pretty big revamp of. It was the questification of Destiny. I remember that word flying around. Oh yeah. But I mean, Taken King, it was a full 8 story missions. I think it was 8, right? So I mean, it was 8, but they were pretty lengthy. You were walking around the full dreadnought. So I mean, it was bigger. So this has got to be large. But here's the thing: the reef was a social space.
Yes, that is
even
correct.
in the picture, you don't look like there's enough place to explore per se. So where else do you think we're going?
This is going to be interesting. I mean, they may pull a Mars, right? Because when we went back to Mars, we didn't go exactly to where we were in D1, right? They had us in a specific area, Hellas Basin or whatever. And you know, they may do that. The only thing is the reef itself is strange by nature, because it's kind of like, you know, it's just kind of like a whole bunch of floating asteroid and you know, ship parts.
And asteroids and whatever's out there. So.
It's not like there's a planet there. And then also what I was thinking about is Prison of Elders. What happens there? And let's just call it what it is. This got to be the Fallen. This has to be the Fallen.
That's what, it's a lot of people are like theorizing, and that's just the main faction here. Like Fallen is the big people who the Reef was like fighting with. I mean, we had Prison of Elders for that exact reason, dealing with the Fallen. So
we got to find out what's going on with Varix, because we've had history with him, and he's left. If you're on the European Dead Zone, he's left his little sigil, that little symbol that he has around there. There's a lot of Easter eggs about him and what's going on with the different houses. So we got to see, he's on our side, what's going on with that. We got to see, find out the fate, obviously, of the queen, which we pretty much confirmed that she's around, the brother, what's going on with him, you know, what space specifically. And then I know this is a long shot and it's probably not going to happen, but there was a lot of Osiris tied to the Reef. You know what I mean? So
I mean, we had the whole trial. That's where it all came from, was when the Reef was launched as a social space. So was Trials of... I know Trials of the Nine, Trials of Osiris. Yeah.
I hate that Trials of the Nine, but anyway, you know, it'll be interesting. It will be interesting to see. I know it's a long shot. I doubt, you know, they bring Osiris in any capacity, you know, but it is interesting because during the Curse of Osiris DLC, one of the whole storyline was to prevent this future of the Reef being destroyed, and it would just be weird. But maybe they don't put it in because it's fallen and stuff. So we'll see.
No, I mean, there's a lot there. So, I mean, in September, even on the roadmap, as it says right now, we've got, it's the big stuff we're talking about. So I'm kind of curious how much they're going to reveal, how much they're going to hold back, because E3, I think a lot of people see it like speculation or whatever, that game, the new gameplay mode, the one that people did not want to put down at that Destiny Community Summit.
That's coming.
I mean, that was potentially going to be on stage. So if they do a reveal and talk about this thing, it's going to be
huge.
So you got weapon randomization of some level, shape, fashion of mods or who knows what. So we'll see. Weapon slot changes. That's going to be major. So I'm sure if that's just going to be, you've got kinetic, energy, heavy, and special. People are just going to lose their mind. I mean, yeah. So, I mean, however that goes, that'll be interesting. Records is probably going to be just like record books we had before. Gear collections, I still don't know what that means. Is that just like your, I mean, the collections we have now are just like your collections of exotics, collections of other stuff. Like, being as you have weapon randomization and collections, I'm confused. So I don't know what to think, but we'll keep it somewhat simple because we've had a lot of things we want. We know there've been a lot of changes. We've got some more stuff coming. What is one thing for fall? What's your must for fall? What's your one?
Wow, one
maybe, or give me a couple. I'm just, we're trying to keep it somewhat. I know. I could have like 50.
I got like 10. You know
okay, could try and narrow that to like 3.
All right.
Go for 3.
I know everybody wants. I guess for me, I'm not as gung ho crazy. Listen, if they said they're going to change weapon slots, and that's fine. They can do that. Like I'm not. I'm actually more about the weapon randomization, the perk randomization, the random rolls. I need that. Yeah. That was part of the chase. I miss that. I miss
a lot of people.
Yeah, and what really is going to separate it is because with the duplicates, when I have that Better Devils and it's just the same thing. I need a different Better Devils. I need a different. So now I can use archetypes that got potential with just different better perks. So that is
Better Devils because I got like 5 of them recently.
Yeah, it's like
I don't know why. It's like I didn't get that many up until this expansion. Then I got like 3 in a row. It's weird. Sorry.
I feel you, man. So it's like you got that. I think, man, I noticed. I don't think it's a big crazy ask, but it would be dope if we got a new subclass, man.
Oh. Yes.
It would be kind of like you really would change the game. You'd get people excited to play a new subclass for your character, man. If they don't do subclass, what if there was a 4th? I know I'm reaching now.
No, but I mean those are major things that will get people to be like, okay, I gotta make a new character because this is gonna change the balance of the game. This is how you're gonna put together your fire teams, your raid parties. This is like that would be major. That's I like one or I like either. And I think honestly, to get some people who've really left the train back, it might take something that big.
Yeah,
and that's large and in charge. All right, absolutely. So
go for it.
No, that's 2. What's your 3rd?
I'll give my 3rd.
Stealing some pretty major ones here, but yeah, keep going. Man.
Shout out to my boy Chris Corley in the chat. He said the new subclass, the darkness.
Dude, that'd be amazing. Just be like pure shadow, just like looking like a ring wraith from Lord of the Rings, just all pure like shadow and evil.
The 3rd one's got to be. I want a clear and concise raid, so I can get my boy Attic back. I need that, man. I think they're gonna double down and still give us a raid layer. My gut tells me that.
I hope not.
I hope not.
Oh.
But if they're gonna do it, you know what I'm saying? TJ saying plot twist. We are the darkness. I hear the chat is lit today. Oh yeah, it's just like I need that concise Taken King like experience where we have like 8 to 10, missions explaining what the threat is, what's going on in the reef, yada yada yada. Then boom, we get to the final thing, we beat it, we realize, okay, we completed the story, we stopped something, kind of major from happening, but there's an overarching thing that now we have to really take care of in the raid. And it needs to be its own place. Leviathan needs to, it's blown up now. I don't want to hear anything more Leviathan now. I swear to God, if we go back to the Leviathan, it's going to be an issue.
Yeah, that's going to piss people off.
I want that narrative cinematic explaining why we're going there, what's going on, the threat, and the different it needs to be tied in, aesthetically. It can't be just some random thing that has that disconnect, doesn't seem to be associated. So those are the 3 random perk rolls, new subclass / character.
Class.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And the 3rd would be raid layer continuity. Those are my ones. You're up now.
I like them. All right. For me, armor has to matter. That's one of my big ones, and that's what I was talking about last week. I need armor perks to come back. I want like sets to actually go and acquire. I want like a European Dead Zone set that works towards, you know, so I can take on the Fallen. I want a Titan set that works towards the Hive. I mean, those types of pieces that make the gear matter, and then random rolls within those as well. So if you say you get like set pieces, and you're like, hey, this one's not quite right, but I know I can go work on the grind. So, I mean, armor for me has to matter. As I was talking to you, you have 5/8 of your inventory that actually matters. I mean, cosmetics outside, 5/8 of it. You have 3 weapons, maybe 4, maybe 3, changing stuff up. I want armor to matter. I want armor perks to be like, hey, you have more power weapon ammo. Hey, you get orbs. When you pick up an orb, you get health back. Like grenade throw distance, but I was like, go even deeper into it. Go farther with all that stuff. Give me some stuff that matters. So my armor has to matter. That's a big one for me. Because
it's so funny listening to you say that, because I thought I was the armor guy. Like, I didn't realize how important it was to you.
No, like, well, I didn't realize as much until it got taken. And that's one of those. It's like I always thought about the perks, and it was like I was never like quite on the min-maxing. I tried to work towards tier 12. I never, don't know if I ever quite got there, but I was even that tier 12 grind. That was a huge deal in D1.
Absolutely.
So I was like, that stuff ended up mattering and gave you something to shoot for. Be like, I was checking the stats at the vendors, like what were those things called in D1? Artifacts.
Artifacts, yes.
So, I mean, those things with those big stat rolls, especially when they'd like, sometimes they'd help 2 or 3, or this thing has like 100 points to a stat or something insane. And it was just like, what is happening? Like those types of things. So yeah, armor has to matter in lots of ways. Give me some armor sets. Give me raid perks that actually matter. Yeah, give me raid perks that set it on top. Yeah, good stuff. Yeah, DJ Singh in your chat saying just Atheon raid, weapons and gears. Yeah, exactly. So rewards are big. 2, and kind of tapping onto your connection of the raid, I want the pieces of the game, and this is one I don't know if it's a D3 ask, and that's why some of these is a little bigger. I would like the pieces of the game to connect to each other. So if I go through the story, and don't have me fight the raid boss at the end of the story. Let's start with that.
Okay.
So don't have me fight a worm god in mission 4 of the story, and then I just took out a worm god. It's like there's only 5 of those in the universe, and they've been around and are a hell of a lot older than Oryx and all his brothers and sisters and sons. Like, come on, like step it up. So I want to go through a story, and this is your reveal, this is your introduction, and be like, just like the end of a Marvel movie, Thanos will return. Just like the end of in this game, be like, yeah, whatever boss this is will return in the raid. Give me incentive to step to that next level. I want to see those pieces of connection. Then also give me a reason to go run a strike, and let me pick the damn strike I want to run, please. Put them on the map. There's not that many of them. Just put them on the map somewhere. So I can just
There's no reason.
Yeah, let me pick a difficulty or something like that. That's fine. But what I also want is they did it before actually in D1 better than almost in D2. You'd go through some stuff on say the moon, and then all of a sudden you'd have a strike available on the moon, and that might be the thing that if you finish that, you had enough level to go on to the next planet or something like that. Same thing, like have the connection of like some story missions, maybe a strike, maybe a few more story missions, then introduce the other strike. Have it be one consecutive thing that builds into, hey, the raid is coming, and that's just part of your cutscenes, and just have it one big thing. So mine, like you, is that connection with the story as one big thread, just one big thread all the way through.
I agree.
So absolutely. That's 2.
What's the 3rd?
I know. Oh, see, that's kind of a hard one for me. I think for me, that gameplay mode is probably going to be it. I don't know what it is. But for me, I want something, and I think we talked about it before, whatever it's called in Halo, like Warzone or something. I want a PvE/PvP where I want something bigger that's not just patrols, strikes, or Crucible. I need a 4th. Even just if it's something I can jump into and like even casually do with like other people in matchmaking, whatever this mode is, I don't know, but I want something one other piece in there because it's like
Okay.
PvP is cool.
Okay.
Strikes are kind of their thing, but like story missions, there's no point to go back to, and patrols, it's everything is patrols. Everything is patrols and public events, and we've like, you know, beaten those to death. So
yeah,
I think for me, it's going to be that game mode for me is going to be hopefully the other X factor. So
yeah, facts.
So I'd say those are probably my three.
That's pretty good, man. I'm hype. I'm hype. I mean, like I said, we know we don't want to get too crazy, but we do know that everyone that went to the Destiny Summit, that they're under NDA currently right now, all the big YouTubers, you know, everyone said that they are so excited from a lot of different aspects, from, you know, that new gameplay mode to mechanic changes, weapon slot, you know, a lot of the stuff that the major Destiny community has been complaining. The D1 guys have been complaining, and they're saying that all those things they're very positively impressed by after seeing the September DLC. So yeah, I mean, we're gonna see what's gonna go on with this year too, man. I'm hyped.
Yeah, it's and that's kind of one of those. It's like, only thing I do want to say is we still have to temper our expectations. I want it to be amazing, but again, this is like, everybody has this as like the straw that breaks the camel's back, like make or break moment of Destiny 2. And it's just like, I can understand why, because people have waited a long enough time to be like, is this actually going to get fixed right or not? And I mean, you've had a full year. You're doing a reveal. Like they've had their time. So now we've got to see if they can put up.
But here's the thing, E. It has to be amazing. Because if it's not, they're in trouble.
It is. That's why I was like, and I mean, there's still people around playing this, and they've done steps in the right direction. But for a big fill back into that player base to pull people away from stuff they're hooked on, like just even to pull somebody off of Twitch from watching Ninja. I mean, like seriously, there's a million people watching the guy. You got to pull him away with a reason to play, and that's I think the thing all of us want is a reason to play. Be it for you, the grind, be it the story connection for the arc, the story connection for the raid, stuff that makes sense in that category, a story that actually matters, like random gear rolls, all those things. We all want a reason, and if you do right now, if you finish up your powerful engrams, a lot of us don't have that reason. So, yep. So that we will know more Tuesday, but look for us on Tuesday afternoon. So it's going to be, I mean, I don't know when you're going to wake up. I get off work at like 1:30, 2 o'clock Central Time. So
as soon as start time for the stream happens, I'm up.
Now here's my only question.
Okay.
If we can actually go check an archive for this thing, would you prefer to watch it live? Literally, like, we could watch it live and literally, okay, pause it, hold on, okay, we got to talk, like, and we may be pausing and talking for a while, but to actually go through this thing and just watch. See,
the only thing is, if it's live, like, the people are gonna want to be watching it live in conjunction. That's the only thing. So, like, as much as I want to stop it, you know what I'm saying? Like, I could tell. I don't know. It's up to you guys. We'll ask the guys. Like,
what are you guys thinking, Chad? Like, let us know. Do you want us to watch it like fresh live with our real reactions as we go through, or do you want us to like pre-watch it and pick out the pieces and then talk to you guys about them?
Yeah, let us know, Chad, because we definitely want to get your feedback as far as how you guys want us to do it. As far as like, watching live, stop and going, or just waiting until everything's completed and then give our reactions post stream. So we'll put it on you guys, what you guys want.
Indeed. So we'll see. We'll figure that one out for Tuesday. But one way or another, that day, that afternoon, at least when I get home, we're going to be talking about all of what's to come. So.
All right. So what says he'll watch it with us, Blizzard Beats, and he so. But the question is, do you want us to do it just
like
live?
So? Yeah, I was like, so if this is right here, if you guys can see it on screen, if this is a video and we're like, okay, I pull up the Twitch archive and I've got it on screen and we're like going through, and all of a sudden I hit play and we're looking, oh crap, pause. Okay, let's talk. Like, I mean, do you guys want to see it that way?
They said he prefers Blizzard. That's Death Singer. He prefers live initial reaction so you can see Cognito cry, lose it live.
We're doing it live.
All right, DJ.
That's two. So we'll see how it goes. You might have to put a poll out there, check them out. But
Absolutely.
Yeah, so yeah, I was like, that's going to be hard. I mean, if you will just go to sleep and not wake up, that'll let me come home, but then I just have to like blow up your phone until you get your butt out of bed. So.
No, listen, I'm getting up. I work late. I will be up, sleep deprived and all.
Yeah, well, that's going to be noon your time. You're going to be middle of the day. So if you wait a couple hours, get a few more hours of sleep, you won't be dead for your next day. So we'll see. We'll see.
We'll figure it out.
But yeah, we will do that one way or another. We will talk about it all. So Tuesday we shall be back.
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, I mean, year 2 is coming.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a clue what the reef is going to hold, what fallen we're going to fight, what changes are going to happen, but I can't wait. And it's so close. It's like a shock.
Yeah.
Again, that's what I was saying. Like some of these times I wonder, hey, what are we going to talk about this week in Flashpoint? And then bam.
Boom.
Just like
now we got stuff to talk about.
So,
oh, yeah.
Gonna be cool. I do like the fact that Scott Taylor and I don't know Steve Cotton, but I know Scott Taylor. I recognize the name. So I don't see Luke Smith. I don't see Mark Noseworthy in here. This was kind of a one question I had. So
I think that them boys are working on what do you call it? On 3, yeah.
The trifecta, the hat trick. Sitting out there. So
yes, sir.
Well, yeah, it's like they're real quiet most of the time, so we'll see. Because they still seem to work there. So
they definitely work.
So yeah, I just want this to be big enough to justify, and then we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, man.
All right. So Vicarious Visions, they had their little Bungie versus stream, and I think they won by what I'm catching on Twitter. I didn't actually get to see it, so that was cool. Vicarious Visions, they're definitely getting in there. So I like to see that they've got a studio really involved in helping them, but almost kind of like, I don't know if co-developing, because I know Bungie is definitely going to be bigger than Vicarious, but still, I just like the fact that they got part of their family now. They're building up their brand to have more people involved, and the more people to help make this game is better, because they need more people, it seems like. So the more the merrier. Faction rallies.
Yes, sir.
Woo. So
let's go.
I love how on Tuesday patch notes, you'll get more information about faction rallies later. I'm like, I'm just like freaking out.
You were freaking out too. I
was like, are you kidding me? Really? So first off, you guys can see the banners up top.
Yes, look at the new banners.
This is what I'm talking about. So you got this little like ship wake of Dead Orbit, but you've also got this little dragon wrapped around the little logo on the end. So,
Dead Orbit one looked mean. I ain't gonna lie.
I like that. That's pretty cool. Future War Cult apparently was like, okay, we've been to the Leviathan. We're going to take their blue and their purple and gold and wrap it around our logo. And then New Monarchy went straight up ornamental, like Victorian.
Very Victorian. Yeah.
So, I mean, hey, ornate details on something like this, always cool. So,
always cool.
Those are a good start. So, 2 things they wanted with faction rallies. They wanted pledging to a faction and be a more meaningful choice. And straight up, first dot, pledging to 1 faction per account. It's there. Just straight up in chat, Blizzard beats. Dead Orbit, let's go. Hashtag orbit or dead. I like that. Good stuff. Good stuff.
I'm gonna have to have a conversation with Hideo.
Be like, hey, what's up?
Listen, bro. Like, I love this. I continue, and then we're gonna talk about this. How do you feel about it?
Reputation progress is retained through multiple events. So, as you can probably guess, the way we've seen Iron Banner and now Vanguard up to level 50, this is probably going to be something similar. Each faction offers unique rewards, such as exotic armor ornaments and masterwork catalysts for exotic weapons. Now, this is an interesting one. You take a catalyst of which everybody's a chance to get the gun, but you don't have a chance to get every catalyst. That's kind of like I want them all. I want them all, but I got to decide. Ugh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Choices have to be made. There's gonna be there's tough choices.
We got to be real ones. I got a feeling I know who's gonna win though, because I know the popularity of the sandbox right now. So they said there's gonna be 3 faction rallies over the course of season 3, and there's a couple other pieces that we'll get there in a sec, but Dead Orbit will offer the Eye of Another World ornament and the Graviton Lance catalyst. That ornament looks kind of cool in the picture. Then we've got New Monarchy will offer the Crest of Alpha Lupi ornament, which I like to actually use that thing a lot for solo, so I'll be kind of curious, but I probably won't steer me for an ornament. Sweet Business Catalyst, which forget what that one does. I don't even know, stability.
Oh yeah, sweet business is it's whack. It's like reduces flinch damage when it's in the spin up mode. I'm like, really?
I mean, I guess if you got to hold it on target.
Look, let's just keep it real. My new monarchy been winning too much. They had to give them something not as appealing. We all know everybody wants that Graviton Lance since it's the meta. That's the meta right now. Graviton Lance, since the buff is that Vigilance Wing, and maybe third place will be Crimson. But it Vigilant, I mean, what you call it? Graviton Sunshine is the wave. It's Sunshine. Yeah. Graviton is the wave right now. So yeah, and no disrespect to Sunshot, but yeah, I mean, I know what I'm gonna be doing.
Yeah. I was like, and it's like I have another world. It's a fairly generic use Warlock. The Knucklehead Radar. I mean, especially if you do competitive nut there. Crest of Apaloofi, I don't mind, but those are ornaments. Cosmetics won't be a gameplay changing thing for me. So Graviton Lance, just a must. So Dead Orbit, we're just gonna see that as the winner next in 2 weeks. So just go ahead and jump on the train.
Just jump on the train now.
But we've got a picture of each one. So each faction now features ranks, which players can reach by earning faction tokens. Faction rank up rewards will continue to grant legendary armor and weapons past rank 30. So, for example, this is Dead Orbit. So I think this is your Eye of Another Worlds ornament right here. Looks pretty cool. This is the little like bird ship thing that's in the emblem. And here's your armor. So I really, really like this logo on the right-hand side. Absolutely sick. It's like the sword straight through the dragon and this like bird ship thing flying away. I'm not sure that the colors are they're unique. I was like, it's got like the stripes through it and stuff like that, but it doesn't like pop. And this is again where if it's pretty, I know where people are gonna go. But still, you've got a chance what looks like a sniper rifle. Got a ship. I'm going to guess that's like a hand cannon, and it looks to be copying the model of something like Dire Promise, the revolver type, and then your catalyst. So that's Dead Orbit. Most people are probably going to be there for just the catalyst alone.
Yeah, which is cool. My only beef with Dead Orbit is like, I'm like, why are they going away from not giving them just plain old dark black shaders? It's like they don't want to do it.
Yeah, they went like black, white, and green. So
yeah,
I don't know. Like the green is your wrap throughout wherever it's at. I guess we'll see, but I mean, there's going to probably be a lot of Dead Orbit running around, so we'll see how it looks. Just a hunch. Can't tell why. Next, we have Zeus is the ornate, fancy new monarchy executor Hideo.
Yeah, my man's for detail.
So this is the level of detail. Like art team, seriously over there, guys, they're just crushing it. Absolutely, like this looks amazing. So the shoulder piece now, unfortunately, you can see now they got the art team to get like a wrap on there. They got a new skin, but this is the exact same model that's in there right now. So the models are not going to change. It is going to be like what it looks like. So those are going to be there for your ornaments. We've got, what is he holding? That one's either a pulse or a scout. Yeah, that looks like a little SMG, and I guess this will be a pulse or a scout. Got your ship. I like the ornament. Looks pretty cool. And then your sweet business. Again, these things right here, this little icon, just like, I love the design of this. It's so cool.
Yeah, it's very cool.
And then finally, we've got Future War Cult. So this is going to be your black with like gold and blue, I guess. Seems to be your trend. So this one, we've got a sparrow, not a ship. I guess that's up to you. Rocket launcher, big, massive thing we got here. Knucklehead radar ornament literally doesn't look any different.
Yeah, I'm like, what's the difference?
Yeah, there's not much. It's a different color scheme, but I'm like, if it's Knucklehead, like make it, give me a Cyclops eye. Just go bananas for it with something a little different. And then I don't know if this is a scout, who knows what, but I don't think Future War Cult's going to be getting a lot of love. I could see New Monarchy going for like looking pretty. If people get what they want from Dead Orbit, I could see New Monarchy probably going next. Unless Future War Cult just has like amazing perks or something. Who knows? But we've got more to it as well. So they want faction rallies to provide a unique gameplay experience. You want to jump into this little chat here? This little discussion?
All right, let's get to it. Pull it up. All right, so we're at where are we at now? You want to talk about the post faction rally stuff after the images? All right.
Yep.
So pretty much they provide a unique experience, and then they talked about this renown system, and this is actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
And actually, what I'm liking is that it says after pledging to a faction, players may earn renown by completing a public event, a patrol, defeating a high value target, yada yada yada. Players who loot a lost sector with renown active will receive significantly more faction tokens than usual. The more stacks of renown they have, the more faction tokens they earn. Renown is lost when players are defeated by enemies. So be careful when you're attempting to loot a sector with the high renown. Now, here's the thing about renown, which I thought I didn't realize. I was like, wow, this is cool. Now, renown, the more renown you get, it increases the level of challenge in gameplay. Health regeneration is vastly reduced. Then it's all stack levels. Enemy kills have a chance to drop health orbs, all stack levels. Player damage decreased, scales back, scales would stack up to 5, and incoming damage increased, scales would stack up to 5. So the more renown you get, the harder it is to retain that renown because the game is kind of ramping up in difficulty. And that's a cool mechanic, I think.
Yeah, I was like, that's at least a step in the right direction of taking the gameplay that's normally just rolling around in patrols and giving it some difficulty. So I do like this. This is a cool step. First, the renown, like you're going to be doing your public events, patrols, doing your basic stuff, but stuff's going to start getting harder. Like, I actually like that. That's kind of cool. I mean, if you're doing the, I think people are going to be skipping the injection rig public event a lot.
Yeah.
Because that thing will kill you.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So I was like, it's going to make you think, though. I mean, if you're going for that big stack and you're going for a long grind, and you're like, hey, we're going to do this. I mean, now here's the other pieces, though. We have all these different rewards. Like, these all look like things like these are the armor sets. These are the weapons that are there. Now, there are specific ones you can get, but I was like, there's already so much to go after. It's like, I kind of wonder what is... Like, if you win the week, is it really going to matter, or is people just going to be grinding for whatever they choose?
Now, I mean, as far as like the winning weapon kind of deal, like what's your thing as far as winning the week?
Yeah, I mean, so we have the winning weapons. They're right down here. Got a rocket launcher for New Monarchy, shotgun for Dead Orbit, and little baby sidearm down here. But it's just like, okay, so this is just another one. We know the perks aren't changing that much right now. We're not going to have anything out there too far. So is this going to be your driving factor of whatever wins?
No.
Or is it just go loot lost sectors and...
My motivation is, what is it, rank 50 or whatever that rank is, to get the damn catalyst or to get the damn ornament.
I guess I'm not thinking about this right. I guess the more renown you have, the more tokens you have, the faster you'll get your level up. So that's going to give you a benefit, I guess. That's
my motivation. I'm only here. Dead Orbit, it's not, I mean, New Monarchy is nothing personal. I'm here with Dead Orbit for my catalyst. So I got to do what I got to do. Make my pledge. And then next week, maybe Future War Call have something a little better. Because I just know, I mean, not Future War Call, New Monarchy have something a little better because I'm just not feeling their selection this week. But I like the fact that it's forcing a choice. You know what I mean? And whoever has whatever you want, you go for it, man.
Yeah. I also like this. When you're in third person view or people are looking at you, you got your Vaction stuck on your back like a sign. This is kind of amazing.
Yeah, that's dope.
This graphic right here, those are awesome.
That's pretty cool. And they said something about you can see that with third person view or something like that.
Yeah, it says renowned displays which faction a guardian is pledged to, but only from third person. This function applies to all players.
That's pretty cool. I like that.
So while renown is active on a player, others around them can see. I wonder if this is actually going to have like stages of like, if this is like stage 5, and then you like, if you get, because they say stacks like up to 5. So like stack 1 is a little smaller, 2 it grows more and more, and then if you get 5, it's this just like glowing thing. Keep this guy alive. He's on a good run. Help him out. Come on. Like, I wonder if it actually could escalate in the animation to actually show how many stacks you have going on. So I don't know. But these already blow away every aura I've seen in the game.
That looks better than the Nightfall. That looks better
than Nightfall, the raid, the hardest thing in the game. Like, none of that stuff is even close This just blows it away. This is a step in the right direction. And again, animation, art team, sweet. But this right here, you slap this on my back when I'm running around the tower, and it's like Prestige Arrayed is like, you know, this giant gold crown or something hovering over my head. That's the type of stuff I want to see. So take this and make it bigger for the Nightfall. Like, I don't know. You got to go big. And this
gotta
is
go big. Yeah, gotta go crazy with it. That's what we've always talked about in past Flashpoints.
Yeah, seriously. It's like, I think, and this is what I was talking to you about, and this is when we'll get to Crucible Labs discussion here in a minute.
Yeah.
I want them to step out of their comfort zone box of what, you know, they think either fits in the lore or just the sci-fi game, and be okay breaking some of that immersion occasionally just to be like, to reward your players. They know they're still playing a game. Yeah, it's cool to have the story, the immersion, the characters, all that stuff. But like, go out of the way, show some crazy stuff sometimes, and I really, really like this. I want more of this type of stuff.
I feel you.
If you do this on a set of armor from the raid, yeah, then I'm going to grind the living crap out of it because it looks amazing. If you give me ornaments that look like they're from D1 Age of Triumph, yes, you will find me in cooler stuff. Yes. They want it to be cosmetic. You can do it. Let's keep it up. So I don't know who's going to win. Actually, I do. I hope everybody enjoys their shotgun because that's what's going to be the one.
Yeah, that's what's with it.
So, Faction Rallies be coming, and it's Tuesday. So Tuesday reveal. I'm going to work, come home, may crank it up, log in. Then when you wake up, turn it off and go right to that reveal talk. So,
you know it.
And it's like, yeah, year 2 definitely kicks the crap out of Faction Rallies, but this is at least enough of like a takeaway and comeback that I'm okay with it. This was, I don't know. What do you think? What are you going to grade this as? Like, you know, give it a letter grade, A, B, C, D.
As far as the improvements, like, what I feel overall.
Yep.
I feel it's like a B. I don't want to say B plus. I'm gonna go B. I'm going solid B. Step in the right direction. Okay. Yeah, I like it. I mean, it's not perfect. There's still a couple of things I want improved, but I think a lot of it just comes down to the weapon portion is always going to be trash until random rolls are implemented in the game. So yeah, that's when I think you're going to see Faction Rally actually have more meaning and grinding for weapons. But for right now, it's really just the armor sets, you know, the ornaments and the catalyst, you know, that kind of stuff. So
yeah, I'm with you there because in all honesty, that's about right. That's probably what I would say as well, because the other systems in the game need to be fixed to allow this to get better. And until it does, as you said, grinding for the factions, getting your armor, it's like, okay, yeah, it's another paint job. And if I really want to look different like I did for New Monarchy, I might grind it for a bit. But once I've got it, then I really will be done. Exactly. Like if I get my catalyst, like, so there's no point to keep pressing through. So that stuff, hopefully, crossing our fingers. See. Yep, Faction Rallies, B. Got yourself an 80, 85, somewhere in there. I mean, for what they're able to change, and which this is going to be a big discussion next, for what Faction Rallies is able to change, I think they did what they could, like with the systems they have to work with. Now, that being said, I'm going to jump to a different tab here.
Let's go.
Hold on. So one thing about this is this is Josh Amrick's Twitter. Now, if you don't follow him, do, because he's definitely involved in the sandbox and a lot of things. He had a pretty funny GIF right here, but this tweet actually had me concerned. I had nothing in bold, in big letters to do with, or even knew much about the Faction Rally changes. After reading the TWAB, he was stoked about the details. This is your sandbox guy. Not knowing what is going to change with Faction Rallies. See, that is what worries me about the communication within the studio, and that is why sometimes we wonder, how do certain things happen? How does an Iron Banner ornament come out in Eververse when you have an ornament that comes out in the raid that you can randomly get on a drop that's really cool? How do those happen at the same time? This seems to be a prime example.
No, you nailed it. I mean,
like, I don't know how that happens.
It just shows a lack of, basically what it's showing me, they just showing me that each team is in its own individual bubble. There's no continuity, and the groups are not communicating. So, you know, they may have, whoever's the lead over all these groups, it's inexcusable that, look, I understand you got your nose to the grindstone and you're trying to make things happen and everything's crunch mode. I get that. But all I'm saying is, like you said, with something like the emote, where the raid guys made it a reward for an activity, but then somehow when Iron Banner comes around, an Eververse emote is in there that you could only get from Eververse and spending half the money of the DLC. So the messages get lost. And that's still a problem as a studio. They've got to figure that out. That like you've got to be, I don't care if you get one member of each team and you have a weekly update. Hey, this is what we're doing. This is what we're doing. Oh, wait a minute. We did that last week. Oh, we can't do that with the emote. That's the problem. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know as a studio how you can operate like that, man. Like, that's just me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get it. They're trying to fix the game. There's a lot of things going on. The fan base is, very demanding. I get that. But communication within your own studio needs to happen.
I mean, that's a must. And this is while it's like, hey, he's stoked about it. And the graphic is just kind of funny right here. Well, girls like grinning like an idiot. It's hilarious. But that being said, is like, if you're not talking to those people and you don't know, that's a problem.
Yeah, like how you don't know? Oh my God, I didn't know they did this with Faction Rally. Dude, like, you're in the studio.
Yeah, you're in the studio. You're like you're the sandbox like lead, basically, is what I'm gathering from all the streams. Like, if you're involved in all the implementations, like, hey, if I buff up this little like shotgun a little bit, okay, Dead Orbit's gonna have a beast gun over there. Or if I give this rocket launcher perk a little bit, like those are gonna your systems talk to each other.
And there's no disrespect. I don't want to make it seem like we disrespecting Josh. Like,
no.
Like great guy, and I'm not. It just shows the culture of the studio that a member of a certain team doesn't know what another team's doing. Like that's a problem. That's a bigger cultural problem that they still have to fix.
So just wanted to point that one out. So
yeah, that's a good catch, man. Good catchy.
Next, let me talk about lab work. So Crucible Labs. Have you had a chance to jump into that yet?
I have not. And the reason why is me and you were texting. Yeah. And your disgust said, I'm not even going to touch that. I ain't going for like you.
Hey, don't throw me that far into the bus.
I'm throwing you all the way under the bus. Like your reaction, I said, "Oh no, is that?" And then I watched who was it? Someone's video. I think it was Cactus. Shout out to Cactus. We gotta get him on the show. Like, and I was just like, "Oh, that's all it is." And then once you describe the mode, and I'm like, "Oh." But I'll let you take this section. This is all.
Oh yeah, just on me. Thanks. I'm gonna need. This is a 2-person podcast here, man. Come on, I need another side of it. So So Crucible Labs. Part of it again is their delivery, and this is where it's the way they do messaging. They want to keep things a secret, and they're really great at hype. But you talking is hard. They have to watch their expectations with their hype, with what the audience wants. So that is step one to this. So what is Crucible Labs? What did people think before it came out? You're thinking public test realm. You're thinking a way to test time to kill, in-air accuracy, different weapons, all that type of stuff. People are getting hyped. They're talking about this, all that stuff. Like the day before it drops, and this is when I texted you, and you're seriously going, okay, what do they do? All they can do, this is literally a Crucible testing grounds, but all they can test is game modes, Crucible settings. So literally you limit yourself to literally mode types, which this was a new one we'll get to in a second. Maybe you do, hey, where heavy ammo spawns or heavy ammo timing or spawn timings. I mean, you are limited to things truly just like your playlist settings and ammo spawns and spawn points and stuff like that. And that seems to be all I can think of.
Right.
And what people wanted was a public test room. Hey, can time to kill get any quicker? Can we make... I mean, I was literally listening to DCP just for a second. I was like, and they're talking about, oh, this will be cool. It'll be a chance for can we do 3-shot hand cannons? Can you try that stuff out? None of that stuff is in there. They said it is no sandbox changes.
Disappointing.
So that's like a huge letdown for, I think, what a lot of people hoped this was.
Right. Now, they did try to get in front of it, right? And try to say why, as we're going to get into, they couldn't do, well, they actually didn't explain it here, but it was on Twitter. It was on Twitter, and they kind of basically said, I guess someone asked like, hey, like the same thing, like, this is very disappointing. Why can't we have that? And apparently the answer was because the way the engine is set up, if they make any changes sandbox wise there, it affects the entire game. So I kind of get that. But at the same time, it's just like, okay, so then what really is the purpose of this mode?
Right.
Are we just going to debut different game types here and that's it? But it's it's a little sad that we're not going to get any type of sandbox change testing in here in a full fledged kind of way. But I'm hoping it evolves into something else. But I'm with you, E. Like when we got the announcement, I had very high expectations. I'm like very hopeful. And then when we actually got it, and based on what you guys have told me, it's just like, this is double doubles. Like,
Yeah.
okay.
That's what it is. So the game mode that got announced was called Showdown.
Mm-hmm.
And basically what it was is 4v4. So not even changing the number of players involved.
Mm-hmm.
4v4 clash, but just in timed rounds. That's it. It was best out of 5. How many kills you get? Your super energy carries over. Heavy doesn't. So it does help reset heavy, which I'm okay with. The rounds are 2.5 minutes long. My opinion on that, too long.
Mm-hmm.
I would rather have a best of 7 of like a minute round. Maybe have a chance to pick up one. You might get your super in like, the third or fourth, or maybe the last one if you go for long, or you save it for a later round and you have a little more tactics to it. But 2.5 minutes, we were getting quite a few kills each round. It was a lot. So, I mean, it was probably 20 or 30. I mean, and that's a long time when you have to potentially do that 5 times. It could be a really long match. I went 3-0. I got lucky. Like, so mine was,
that's the potential to
but
be
mine
very
still felt long. That was like my 3-0 still with the time in between matches, the little bit of downtime, probably was like a 10-minute match. It could have been 15 if the other 2 were in there. So, yeah, I think the time on this one was a little long. I see what they were doing. Like, you won't have people run. If people get hold of the heavy and really start running it, you can kind of take over a match. Same thing that you do with Rumble. So if you wipe the slate on heavy every round, super energy stays and that builds, which I'm kind of okay with. But if heavy gets wiped every round, now it was coming up every 30 seconds. It still seemed pretty rampant.
Right.
But you won't have a team just own it the whole time. So, or if you just absolutely botch round 1 and you're like, okay, half my team fell asleep and then they woke up in the end and now we're going to play the other 3, you could have a chance at some comebacks. So, like, in theory, the rounds aren't terrible. My thing with you was like, even if you're only going to change settings, which as I was saying with you, it was like, okay, we're just only doing Crucible. We can't touch Sandbox. Cool. I mean, I understand. They're stuck. It's like it is a game where if you touch a weapon, it affects it everywhere in the game. You can't go make hand cannons crazy or you're going to go break the raid or strikes or whatever. And it kind of sucks, but I get the technical limitations. I understand it at least.
Yeah.
What I want them to do with this is get a little crazy with things, at least in modes. Get a little step outside of your comfort bubble. Don't have your toes still in the pool. Like, step out and run the other direction, see what happens. Do like 6v6 and 6v6 supremacy, or go 3s. I want to see like 3v3v3. I would like, if they can do it, come on, put people on different teams, go run around, make it kind of insane. Like, at least mess around as far as you can within your Crucible box. If you're stuck in the box, mess around with it as much as you can. This seemed like we're like, I'm in my little bubble. I'm gonna peek outside. Oh, nope, never mind. I'll be right here. Like, it just didn't seem like enough of. So, I mean, their questions are, what did I think about the mode? Okay, still very tame. I don't, and I guess but the other pieces that a lot of people were asking for that I saw the most of, they want objective modes. They're dying for them.
Yeah.
Rift, Oddball, whatever you want to call it, capture the flag. They want an objective mode because it's like, I don't need another just shoot people in the face playlist. I need a reason to move to a certain place. I need a reason to defend or protect or work as a team or flank, or I need a reason. I've got enough playlists to shoot people. And I think we've got Clash, we've got Supremacy, which is shoot people and then be by their body. We have Control, which is the only objective thing we've got. So that and Countdown. But I think we have enough shooting in the face. Give me a reason to go do that. So
yes, absolutely. And my hope is that it will evolve into that, and we'll see things like Rift, and we'll see other modes that maybe they want to try to implement in there, kind of thing. And I mean, I'm hoping. Listen, my whole thing is I can't stand Trials of the 9. I would love 3-man elimination again, the old school way.
Yeah.
What I'm saying? Trials of Osiris way.
Test that
That out.
Yeah, I mean, what if they did a Rumble King of the Hill? I mean, that would just be absolutely bananas, but it would also be kind of crazy, which would be fun. The point moves every minute or so you're not just stuck on it, but the longest you stay in there. But that's the type of stuff like Rumble King of the Hill, as you said, 3v3 eliminations. Like, make it some real game mode changes, not just clash for time and rounds. Like, that was when you say you want to test something, I want you to test something that you probably can't be like, yeah, we can probably do this in-house. Oh, this is what I want you to see if the world likes it or not by getting outside of your comfortable game mode. So they're asking, was anything confusing? If it was, I'm sorry for the player who's confused, because it was very, very simple. We've done it before. Did anything seem missing? I'm gonna save my thoughts there, but I would just use one word: creativity.
Yes.
Was there a map to play it on better or worse? It's Clash, so if it works on Clash, it's still there. Were there spawning issues? And these are all questions. If it was a real mode, yeah, I'd be happy to answer them. But right now, it's just Clash for time. I can only have a few questions about how the rounds work, so we'll see. Were the rounds too long, too short? Yeah, too long. That would be my one. Spawning issues, I didn't really seem to notice them too bad. Weapon or sandbox combination that affected gameplay? Not really. So, what's up, Kronos and chat? How you guys doing? Shout out to chat on both sides of this equation, by the way.
Open up your chat. Have some fun in there. No doubt.
So, I mean, Crucible Labs, and I know this is like a baby step. They may have just wanted to see if it was going to work before they go break something. And they do want you to know, if stuff does break in there, remember, it's a test. But I do want them to try and break it as well, because that's part of the fun of a test. So you got to see what happens when you go too far. Otherwise, you're never going to know. So, oh, escalation protocol. Do we change it again? So, not quite what I was hoping for.
Yeah.
So I talked my butt off about the last one. I'm going to pass the mic back to you, sir. Here you go.
So here we go. Escalation protocol. As they say, it's been a hot topic. So they got the design lead, what's his name, Benton, and Ben Womack to make some changes to the experience. So both of them have said that the weekly update will go live. This weekly update goes live. The power levels from escalation mode protocol enemies will be lowered in waves 4 through 7. Waves 1 through 3 are unchanged and will remain at 370 power. So still watch out for that level 2 wizard boss. Players who have stayed on Mars since before this update will need to return to orbit and land on Mars again. So the old values, waves 1 through 3 were 370. Waves 4 and 5, 385, and waves 6 and 7 were 400. Now, with the new values, the first 3 waves will remain the same at 370. Waves 4 and 5 go down from 385 to 380, and waves 6 and 7 go down significantly from 400 to 385. And then they continue to go on, how they're making the change. And they talk about the, server flags, how they can flip the switch between the power levels and didn't require download, and the reasons for the change. And these are the key points. They're saying they've been looking at the internal data and they're listening to all the feedback about escalation protocol since the launch of Warmind. And what they're saying is, this is the funny part. Not as many players are attempting escalation protocol with a fire team of 3 as our designs intended, mostly because of how difficult Wave 6 and 7 are. Tweaking the difficulty of Wave 6 and 7 very quickly through power levels changes is something we can do right away because of the server flags mentioned above, rather than waiting a number of weeks to deliver a patch. By reducing the power levels of the later waves, we are intending to make escalation protocol more approachable for players who want to try the activity at 385 as a fire team of 3, with potential help from others in the world. Getting 9 players into the same space will still be possible, but for those at or close to max level, it shouldn't feel as necessary as before. If anyone is worried that we're nerfing this activity into the ground, rest assured that it will still be a highly difficult endgame experience. All the mechanics, timers, and enemy behaviors will remain unchanged, so you still should plan to bring your best team gear and strategies to succeed. So, I have a lot to say about this, but I'm going to let you.
No. You got a lot to say. You just got I don't know if you breathed in there. That was impressive, but go for it first. I got my thoughts. I vented last week. You weren't even here.
Right,
so
that's
you
true.
Got the table, man.
Here's the thing. I completely this escalation protocol thing. I'm gonna call it the fiasco. I'm in complete disagreement with them. I don't like the thought process. I don't like a lot of it. Here's my thing. Okay, first of all, it's supposed to be high-end activity, right? I get that aspect. But the issue really to me isn't waves 4 and 5. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think that's the issue. You know what I'm saying? My thing is you've got to get the entry level in, because what's going to happen is, yes, we want this content to be hard, right? But if you're getting pump stomped in round 1, right? New casuals, not even casual, anybody who wants to keep trying the activity is going to get discouraged. And then you're just worrying about getting your light level up. So my thing is, why not have the opposite effect where you make waves 1 and 2 a little bit ease of entry, and then it's this gradual skill progression, right? So then it's like, okay, now, okay, boom, we got up to 2. I got to get better now. I got to go level up. I got to go get grind to get my light up. You know, this way, it's like if you're 370 with the new values, you're 370, then you get to 380. They're making it a gradual climb from the middle. And I mean, I don't think necessarily this is the best way to handle it. And then ultimately, my main beef, which is the elephant in the room, is we know damn well this is not a 3-man activity. Like they keep pissing me off. Like, oh, we're supposed to do this with 3 men. This is not a 3-man activity. This is, people are in there doing Nintendo Switch friend codes just to get other people in in their fire team. Nah, man, I'm not doing like that. That is so antiquated, and it's embarrassing because D1 had that. You would think that like they would put a flag in the middle of the, you know, whatever the protocol, touch the flag, everybody kind of check in who's jumping in and get 6 to 9. Why is that so hard to do? Like, what? Look, I'm not a dev. I'm not going to try to disrespect anybody, but don't insult my intelligence by saying that this activity is 3-man. There's no way. There's no, like, you've got to be the most coordinated, you know, and you guys are all got to be 385. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
This is made for at minimum 5 to 6 plus. So it's just like, I don't like their answer. To me, this screams, we don't have the dev time to put in a proper matchmaking mode for this.
Yeah.
And I understand they're drawing the line in the sand as far as not changing entry level. That's what it seems to be. Like they're like, nope, we're going to keep it hard. We're going to keep, okay, fine. But do realize, you know, that at the end of the day, like, you know, a lot of people are going to get discouraged. You're going to do round 1, you do round 2, you get stomped. And, you know, again, I'm not trying to casualize it. I'm not going there. I'm just saying just a slight bump to the initial levels to get more people to get encouraged. And then it's like, okay, now in levels 3 and 4, you know, that's it. Everything else, I know, I disagree. But I have rambled. Floor is yours.
I have rambled, but
floor is yours.
Yes. Great. So this literally brings up a couple things that I was reading from Paul Tassi's article last week. Do you see it?
I did.
Yeah. So, and this is kind of the thing too. You've got your levels of challenge.
Mm-hmm.
You want it to be in game. And honestly think they did it in the wrong direction. Same thing you're saying. Give the new people a chance to step into it, but make the final challenge in the game level. So you want to know, so they already have 2 things Paul Tassi said that were really, really good. 1, reward every level. Yeah. Give me a reason to do that crap. Even if it's just tokens is all you're going to throw at me right now.
Yeah.
What's up, Cognito? Now we double chatting.
Say hello to you guys.
So how do you get more people to do it? How do you have an event last longer? How do you have the server get involved? Have a couple of people that are walking around who just did a public event. One of them starts it up. Hey, this first wave is 340, not 370. Okay, you got it going. You're working. Oh, somebody loads into the zone. Hey, we got one going on. This is level 1. Sweet, I can jump in even if I'm low. Okay, 2 goes. And even just show the light level up there. Be like, all right, level 2, parentheses 350. Okay, going against this wizard who keeps pissing me off. Sweet. Okay, we're working through. All right, sweet. We got that. 360. Okay, now I'm starting to die a lot more. Okay, I'm about 360. But you get a feeling of some accomplishment.
Right.
They wanted to casualize this game so much they took it too far. Then you take something like this and you take it out of reach for all your casual audience.
Completely.
Completely just put it way up on the pedestal at the top of the mountain. People are like, I can't, I'm at the first base camp of Everest and you guys set it on the peak. Like, we gotta build up to get there, and you gotta give your player base a chance to build through it. If you want people to get used to these things, get used to working together. The one where it's the reverse Crota Knight, where you have to use the sword to drop the shield. And every single giant enemy in Destiny, and I wish they all didn't do this, stomps the ground and kills you.
Oh yeah, that's the same mechanic. Yeah,
I was like, come on, get creative. But like, you have to have a Titan with a bubble there. Then you have to be doing the swords, popping in and out, trying to slam that thing in there. And there's like 6 people doing this while some are staying in the back as soon as it's going to start shooting them. Trying to do that with 3 people on the level 7 boss at 400, that is just absolutely insane. So, but like in turn, if you had built up, the other thing Paul Tassi said, do it like a public event and put a damn timer on it. How do you get people in the same spot? Give them a time frame when it starts. Do a rally to the flag. Have a timer that starts it. They already have it for public events. Don't do it don't have, and that's the thing. He said it perfectly. He did in his article. Shout out. I'd love to have him on here.
Yeah, Tassi's the man. He's the elusive man, but I'll keep trying.
No, it's like he's at Forbes. He's probably got so many like NDAs and stuff. I'm sure he can't be touched, but
absolutely,
he's got to protect his job. He got a good one. That being said, like the way he phrased it, like put a timer out there. Do it 10 minutes between each side. 10 minutes to get it started. I don't even know how long it takes, but if you do a 15-minute timer and you know it's coming, and I'm like, okay, fine. I'll go run around. I'll do a patrol or shoot a few things. I might go grab a bowl of cereal. Who knows? Whatever it is. I know that team the people on that server. Or if you get all 9 people who see that and they load in, you're going to get people to do groups at a time. And even at a point when it's not as popular later on, you'll still have people who can at least rally together. So the timers was good. It's a mechanic you already have for public events. And the other problem is like you'd have, we did a public event. Cool. Let me go start this real quick because everybody's here. Then they finish their public event milestone. They left. And then you have like 1 person with you and you just get destroyed.
Yeah.
So you need a better way to start it. One that's a little more, fills your super, all that stuff. So, I mean, give yourself a progression. I'm with you. I still don't think they're doing it right. I want a progression to get into it. I don't care if they leave the top at 400. If you go 340, 350, 360, 370, 380, 390, 400, that's a progression to fight through. And you got to be that elite. You got to be that group. And you got to get a coordinated like effort going there to make it happen. And it's probably not going to happen every time, but that's how you make it an in-game thing where it's a challenge.
Yes.
So, no, I had my rant last week. I'll try and cut it here, but I mean, I did. I literally went through all this last week. So
I'm with you, bro. Like I'm with you. The mentality behind this escalation protocol, the way they handle, and I want to make a point though, because I know, some people like, hey, you guys are hypocrites because when this game was dead and you guys are complaining about casualization, I can hear little voices in the background, right?
No, I know.
And I get that. All we're saying is this is bad level design. It has nothing to do with not making the activity challenging. We want the activity to be challenging. That's fine. But the entry level, like the cost of entry, like it's just like the equivalent of starting the raid and the first thing you encounter is Callus. Like there has to be a build up,
right,
until you get to Callus, right? You had you had the sleeping, you had the dogs or whatever. There were certain activities like you had the courtyard where you have to do the symbols and carry the crest and all that other stuff. There's progression. That's what we're saying. You can't start an activity and just be completely crushed, demoralized based on your light. And then you're like, okay, we're going to fix it. When you get to the 4th level of demoralization, we're going to bring it down. And I'm like, what?
Yeah. You're like, hold on. Everybody's dying on the wizard. They even referenced the damn wizard.
Exactly.
I don't know what health that thing has. Ridiculous. I've dumped a lot of Darcy into that thing, and I feel like I'm throwing pennies at the guy. Like I'm not doing anything.
And and last but not least, stop disrespecting us with this 3-man activity. Like when we see all YouTube streamers getting 9 people together just to do it, and the sad thing is it's from what people are telling. I've never done it yet. The most I've probably seen is like 6.
I haven't even got close to that.
Yeah, like I've seen. Oh yeah, it's a PC. I didn't even think about that. But it's like the most I've seen is 6, and us doing it. And from what I hear and what I see, it sounds like the most fun thing in Destiny. People are telling me like, yo, when you do the friend code and you got 9, it is amazing. You know what I'm saying? Like people are like, can we get this thing straightened out? You have your community loving something. Can we not implement something to accommodate that? You know? But anyway.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, and that's the same thing I've heard too. It's like people love this game mode. Like people didn't work to get 9 people together. I know some people want to grind and obviously get the highest stuff and trying to get the fastest, way to get something. But if the mode sucked, people would not put the effort in like hours to try and be like, all right, we got another guy here. Let's invite him in, get somebody in, kick him out. Thank you for your service. Pass him on. Like, they're not going to go through all that effort to do some activity that just sucks. Like they're not. So, I mean, it seems like a really cool activity. The horde wave, the escalation. And that's the thing. I was like, I don't care if wave 7 stays at 400.
Exactly.
Now my only issue with that is what we get to when we talk about what they did in Crota. You were a max of 32, and you were artificially challenged with 33 for no other reason, and that's their only way to do difficulty. Now, plenty of games do that, and that's fine. Now, if this was like 385, but just, there are more enemies, like, give me more to shoot. Give me a little bit overrun. Give me that feeling of, like, franticness. It's the hive. That is the theme. So that stuff is cool. Like, keep the difficulty there, but as you said, just, the progression into it. So, yeah, you said pretty much everything I did last week, so, yeah, we're on the same page. But, yeah, it's like, 3-man, no. You want to know the people who 3-man this thing? It's the people who won the raid race. And that's basically the only video I've seen. It was Glad and Gigs, that type of people in the community. They're known to be the 0.01% of the community. That's it. You want to 3-man this thing? I mean, solo and Nightfalls, I can swing it with some time.
No, absolutely.
I was like, and Esoteric is a step above me for sure. But I was like, 3-man this thing, man, some of that stuff, like if your Titan dies and your bubble goes, that whole run is gone. If you smash one tiny thing wrong with that sword, like that one alone, and then that giant ogre, and there's like 4. So, I mean, no, it's meant to be, you took a public event, you made it really cool, let people play it.
Yeah, man. So. Good old escalation protocol.
Yep. So that'll continue to be a thing. We'll see if there's any changes. I just hope they don't keep being. There's a point of like your community is pushing back. Your community is pushing back. We're gonna hold our ground. There's a point where when most of your community is like, "Hey, we introduced something. Hey, okay, we didn't know we were gonna like this thing. Cool." You don't always have to go on what the community wants, because if you do, you casualize it, you break it. Division did the same thing. They listened to the community streamers. They made things. They like took it a little too far, but like you got to find a balance. So
absolutely, yeah. The community wants something. I mean, come on, So anyway, moving along.
There's another Warmind comic. So I wish they would do like 1, 2, but I know these things aren't easy to put out, probably because it's like 1 or 2 people on our team making a whole thing. But still, I'd like to see like 3, 4, or 5. I'd like to see a little more in-depth story on one of these. Maybe for year 2, give us a comic that comes up like once a month, so we actually have a full ongoing story. Just give us a little more depth to it. So, but I'm always curious to read it. So, stay tuned. This was 10 a.m. Pacific. Is it out? Tomorrow. Oh, tomorrow. 10 a.m. So 2 hours.
2 hours.
2 hours. Cool.
Yeah. Cool.
We got a whole bunch of patch notes, things like that. I'm not going to go through all those. If you want to read those, that's known issues. Movies of the week, all that stuff's fine. There's one more piece they said. Another step on the roadmap has been executed. We have much more in store for the coming months. If you want to make sure you don't miss a beat, subscribe subscribe for updates via Bungie.net. When you invite us to keep in touch, we'll give us a chance to send you communications tailored to your specific playstyle. You'll also earn an emblem that will only be displayed for the well-informed. So random little emote, which is fine. You can do email verification, just get another one. So that's most of it.
I got some hot, fresh off the press news.
Oh, well, see, this is what happens when I've got 4 screens open and I can't use it.
There's a rumor, Tassie's got something up right now. There's a rumor leak saying that Destiny 2 Fall of Expansion is summoning of the 9 with a new enemy race.
Please.
Yeah.
Please let it be true.
Yeah, let's see. Go if you have Twitter open. I think he has it. See if I can pull it up for it too.
Look real quick. Oh, this is what happens if you're watching live. So
this is live, y'all. We gotta keep it live. So he's got an article up.
here's the rumored leak. Okay.
It's rumored leak. So we have to take this with a supreme grain of salt.
I will say, typically he's not going to be the one to jump on a BS type leak. I don't see him write as many articles that are just like, hey, this is possibly out there. This is typically he's not. I mean, everybody on YouTube and their others brother, like they will do leaks everywhere.
Yeah,
I don't think he's as clickbaity. Like, so I might take at least 2 grains of salt as opposed to just 1 here.
Yeah, I mean, you want to see what they're talking about?
Yeah, we'll take a look. Here, let me move it over onto the page here real quick. Sorry, guys. I gotta organize my damn screens here.
Sure, no problem. Take your time. If not, I can pull it up if you want to.
And we up. It's probably just a little delayed.
Yeah,
yep, everybody can see it. Cool. All right. So he said he's debating on whether to discuss this leak because few have panned out. But as E3 leaks are basically flying out the doors right now, this is a time when things are going to basically be having a chance to really be. This is like that week before where things actually have a tendency to be kind of accurate.
Yeah.
That's kind of why I think he's doing this. So because you're like, hey, Fallout 76 and Assassin's Creed just got leaked as well. So
and this is from 4chan. It says,
yeah.
So bullet. You want to start with the bullet first? What they say?
So storyline revolves around Aldrin, which is the brother. Resurfacing with an army of fallen soldiers to rescue his sister from the Nine.
Interesting.
Nine are forced to unleash I'm going to have issues saying some of these words. Sorry in advance. Nastareth to stop Aldrin's army. Brand new enemy race of void demons. Okay, seriously, I don't care if that's true. That's the level of crazy that I literally want in this next expansion.
No, the next one even got me. As a warlock.
Hold on, I'm not there. Nastareth,
get to the next one.
I'm trying to discuss here. This is what we got to do this live, and we have to pause.
This is what we got to do it live.
We got to do next week's live because I'm gonna have to pause. You're gonna be like, play it, and I'm gonna be like, no. Nastareth are led by Nezarec, which is the warlock helm. Nezarec's Sin, I think, the main antagonist of the expansion besides Alderaan. Nezarec is the former 10th member of the Nine who was banished for betraying his brethren. The expansion is called the Tomb of Eternity, revolves around stopping Nezarec for good. The Nine are met during the expansion's campaign and help you stop Nezarec, which is, I like the fact that you're going to have a lot more NPCs. 10 story missions, 4 strikes, 2 new destinations, the Reef and the Void. Brand new cooperative activity known as the Court. Because of scale, but it's a brand new PvE activity new to the Destiny series.
So is that
we know a new mode is coming. Now, whether somebody just called it something, and Court seems a little weird because we had Court of Oryx, but also you have like 9 that I could picture in like a 9 council and you're facing the court or something there. Like, so a new race that I feel it's time. We had a new race with Taken King-ish.
Yeah.
We had a reskin. A brand new race of void demons. Tractor cannon. You guys are in luck.
Yeah, there's a lot. And it was crazy. There's a lot of exotics that, kind of boost void damage in some way. And obviously Nezarec Sin is part of that.
Yeah, make sure
interesting. Interesting, man. I mean, we'll see. I mean, you see Tassie, as you scroll down, he breaks it down a little further. As far as like the legitimacy, he's like pretty much every fake Destiny 2 leak has involved Aldrin in some way. And he's like, he's supposed to be the star of the Warmind until Anna Bray's revealed, yada yada yada. And then he's like, summoning the Nine does not sound like a real expansion name. I'll say that. You want to get the next bullet point as far as what his speculation is?
How far did you get down here? I'm just
yeah, he says the Nine remains the most mysterious Destiny, so it makes sense after 4 years the game decided to explore them a bit more. And given that one of the frequent complaints about Destiny is that it hasn't gotten a truly new enemy race since Taken, Siva Fallen, and Frozen Hive are all reskins. Yeah, it takes. I mean, they need a new race. Yeah,
they do. Yeah. I want something different. And if the 9 come in, if there's a story behind them, I could see it being cool. Now, somebody could be getting really creative here. Of course, it's a but this again just sparks more of a discussion for what we want. We want some new stuff. Like,
Yeah,
I mean, I don't mind fighting the Cabal, the Hive, the Fallen, but I have seen them for literally 4 years.
4 years now.
I've shot the same acolytes in the face. I've seen the Knights with new graphics to them. I've seen the Fallen, the Thrall, like. A cursed thrall is a cursed thrall. They have not changed that much. Their little blue glowing head explodes. I understand it. Like, I want something else. So it said Nastrath are mentioned in a single Grimoire card in Testy, so it's not like it comes out of nowhere, but it really be obscure, for a fake leaker to pull from. Nezarec, who turned 10 into the 9, it seems. That's kind of cool. Tomb of Eternity, that sounds like, as you said, the name fits with the Void theme. And Tomb of Eternity for somebody banished. I mean, for forever. If the 9 are,
the next bubble point is hilarious.
I'm having trouble believing Bungie will cast 9 different voice characters and play the 9. They'll probably just sit there in silence while Xur talks for all of them. That's actually pretty funny.
That's pretty funny.
There's a decent amount of story missions and strikes. Presumably one will be PlayStation exclusive. I hate that, but I know.
It is.
I can't remember how many Taken had. Taken King, we had the Darkblade. We had the Shield Brothers. Why am I missing one?
I'm forgetting, man. It's been a while.
I don't know. Hold on. I want to look real quick.
Well, you do that. I'll be next one.
Yep, you go.
I would assume the Reef would be another social space. Not that the game really needs third one, with no one already going to the farm. The Void could be an interesting location that isn't a specific planet like we've seen so far, nor a ship like the Dreadnought.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely going to sound. I mean, the Void. What are you going to wander around on the Void? Literally, like that's an interesting theory. So
interesting. It would be.
So we had Shield Brothers. We had the Sunless Cell. That was the Darkblade. We had the Blighted Chalice. That came later. Actually, that was with the update. We had Fallen Saber. That was the third. So there was at least 3. And then Echo Chamber was the PlayStation exclusive. So there were 4 total with PlayStation 3 for everybody else.
Yeah.
So I think we're still short there.
I would like all of this. I mean, I still don't see no subclass power.
No, I know. Well, yeah, like leaks piece at a time.
Yeah.
The court could be the totally new way to play that was shown off when the content creators visited. This could be totally made up. Court seems like a weird word. So again, take all this with a grain of salt, guys.
Yeah, there's still rumors, man.
But like a new enemy faction, like something involving a piece of story that we've been involved with for a while. That's the type of stuff. Like, I mean, they've unfortunately, and Bife is just like banging his head against the narrative wall over on his side of the pond. But he's literally like, you have these characters we hear about. You have Osiris, this guy. Hey, what's up? Okay, cool. Here's the little blips. All right, see you later. And like, I mean, we know we want the story to get better. And you have the 9, you take the Xur character and you screw it up, you're going to piss off even more.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if something like this is involved and you have, I mean, he is part of the 9, right? Xur is, or am I crazy?
Yeah, he's part of it.
Okay. So, I mean, you've got him at that level. People have seen him for 4 years. He's elusive. Where does he go? I mean, this would be kind of a cool thing to see, but I don't know. But yeah, I want a new race to fight, not a reskin, please.
Yeah, I know. It's going to be interesting with this leak, once we do the live thing on Tuesday, like we'll have almost like a playbook to see if it, what's accurate, what this is
look
different.
Back through.
Yep.
Yeah. Absolutely. So Tuesday is going to be a big one, guys. We will get you more information once we coordinate times. Like if I make him go to sleep, if we watch this live, if there's a way to check an archive, like I don't know how long the archives take. I know one way I can do it. I might have to talk my wife into a little bit of help.
Good time.
I can record the stream like source detail and then basically just stream that, put like the stream as a video and pause and play it. I know I should be able to do that.
Okay.
Just got to get my wife coordinated to do it. It's 9 a.m., 11 a.m. I'm trying to think of my times for Tuesday morning. I've got a 9:30 to a 10:30. I could potentially swing home and start it myself, actually. So I might do that. One way or the other, we will definitely have year 2 to talk about for you guys. So we got a lot lot to look forward to.
Absolutely, man. I'm hyped, man. This is a fun time. It's a fun time.
Yeah. But escalation protocol, fix it. No, I'm just kidding. No, but seriously, guys. Again, you always hear the passion from us. You guys who follow us in chat and sit along and listen to us ramble on for an hour and a half. We know you guys have the passion as well. So we thank all you guys for your time,
Absolutely.
for dealing with our ramblings. And most of the time we feel like we don't speak for the community, but we feel like what we've experienced, especially with the chat as well, we get a general idea of what a lot of everybody's thinking. I mean, I watch a lot of the YouTube videos out there to try and keep up with the other piece of the community. It's we try and put this together, and we thank you guys. And honestly, a year to reveal, it doesn't get much bigger. So hype train, I'm on board. I always am. So I can't wait.
Absolutely.
So to let the other man on the side of this get to sleep, because we're just going to crush his sleep schedule next week. It's fine.
Vampire life.
Vampire life. Yeah. You're going to have to go find something to feed on there.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, so I think for now, follow us on Twitter. We'll keep you guys updated as to what we're really going to do for the reveal. But definitely look for something on Tuesday. If not, look for me to upload a video and Cognito as well to our YouTube channels. That'll be the recovery as afterwards.
Absolutely. And this Sunday still doing ILP. And
absolutely.
Yeah, ILP will be popping. This will be a closeout of our E3 prediction series. We did Nintendo first, Sony second, and this will be Xbox and Microsoft. And we've got some pretty huge guests. I guess I can break it now on Flashpoint.
Did you get them confirmed?
Yeah, pretty much. So we'll see. Hopefully they follow through, but it should be Dealer Gaming, Rand Al Thor, and Beastfire Tim Dog. So we're gonna have an all-star Xbox panel. Should be pretty cool, and we're gonna get into the predictions and the state of the box, man. So it should be fun. Check us out, Inner Circle Network channel. It will be Sunday 1 p.m. Eastern, the Lord's Day. Please catch us in the live chat, and then after Sunday, follow right back up here on Tuesday with my man Ebontis.
Yeah, we're gonna get right back to it.
Right back on this channel and on Twitch as well with Ebontis and Iron Law Podcast YouTube for the Flashpoint impromptu reveal live/reactions. Should be fun.
What you should do, just to give some of our guys an idea, I want you to do one of your intros, but do it for like Bungie or Deej or somebody like that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I want you to do one of your like infamous intros, but do it for just something fun related to Destiny next week. That'd be kind of a good one.
You want me to do it like for? I'm confused. Like you want me to do an intro for? Because like I gotta do it for a live person. Like if we had Deej on, yeah.
Oh, dude, if we got Deej on, I'd pass out.
I'd go crazy. You know that I'll put all type of sauce on that intro.
Oh my god, he'd be like, "Are we 10 minutes later still talking about the
introducing?"
Introducing the TTK Gunslinger, Warlock for life.
There you go.
It's like the best question dodger of all time. The guy who will talk for 10 minutes and tell you nothing.
The media trained extraordinaire. My man.
Dude, like, like guys, if you're on here, and most of you guys come from Iron Lord's podcast anyway, but if you're on mine, Cognito has some awesome intros. Like literally the few times that I've been on there, I feel like I can never live up to the introduction. It's ridiculous, but awesome. So,
I appreciate you, man.
No, seriously. Every time I listen to it, it's just like, I just want to know. I want to get to the intro because like I want to see their reaction to it. Because every time everybody's like, okay, seriously, how do I live up to that? What the hell? Like,
man, I like to get into it, man. I like to do my research, have fun, get everyone all hyped up, and I appreciate. Thank you for the compliment, man. I really enjoy doing it.
Hey, everybody has their thing. You've got the intros like nailed, man. They're awesome. So
thank you so much.
But yeah, follow us on Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, gaming, all that fun stuff. Enjoy the weekend. Play something else for a little while. If you're taking a break, faction rallies will be coming because you'll be grinding a lot of that next week. And yeah, should be a fun, crazy weekend. So follow us, like us, all of those good things. Leave comments, like the videos, subscribe to our channels. You guys know all the good stuff. It helps more than you guys actually know. The likes, the subscriptions, the alert bells for those notifications, they help our channels, the feed, the popularity, all that comes from your support. So
yeah, shout out to the chat too, man. Everyone in the chat today, and actually on Twitch, your boy TF Chronos, man. Shout out to him. Definitely enjoy engaging with him as well. And the ILP chat was pretty cool too, man. Good to see you guys. Atlas Gaming, you're late. We ended it.
Yeah, you got here too late. So.
We'll watch it, man. This is a good one, good, passionate, fun one. And Blizzard beats any Sony dev / Death Singer. You were out of control today.
Yeah, no, you guys had some good stuff in here. So yeah, thank you guys. It's kind of a chill Friday for me, so I'll be around for the weekend. But yeah, Tuesday gonna be lit. Check Iron Lords on Sunday. Yes, always a good time. And you guys can find him if you don't catch the YouTube and you want to just listen to a podcast. He's on like iTunes podcast and all that stuff. So check him out there. I've thought about throwing this on there, but haven't got to that yet. So,
so yeah, we'll get there. We get there eventually.
All right, guys. Well, have a good one. We'll see you soon. Tuesday gonna be lit, and we out.
Peace.